So let's talk about the operator, the precedence here. So we have an array operators. We said we're going to do this one first, right? If it's all together in a statement like that, and then we're going to do the arithmetic, right? Like multiply first, divide, and remainder, and then we're going to do add and subtract, and then we can do the Boolean operators later. Less than, greater than, less than, equals, greater than, equals, comparisons, not equals, and or, right, operators. So it's going to be in that order. Now let's look at, we have in I equal to 0, we said we do I plus plus. It's going to print the value of I first, which is 0, and then it's going to increment to 1. We do plus plus I. It's actually going to increment to 2 first, and then print 2 out. Now let's try with the, what happens if I do I minus minus? It's going to print 0, right? But I value having decrement to -1. Like if I want to print I afterward, we will see -1 later, right? So now if I happen to change this to be minus minus I, so we'll see what -1 because it's been decremented before prints, right? Okay. And if we have that and we say multiply by 2 plus 3 equals 2, I plus plus divided by 2 mod 10. Alright, so what gonna be the answer? So minus 1, we're going to start from left, right? Meaning give 0 to -1. -1 times multiply go before plus, so times 2, right? So we have -2, and then we do add 3, we have +1 on the left, right? Now this is comparison, and we know that comparison according to the order, we're not going to do that. That's going to be later than, right? Because this has to be first, right? I plus plus is going to be 1. 1 divided by 2 is, in Java we get in with a 0, right? Not 0.50. Or 10 remainder is 0, so we compare 1, 0, we get false. But if I just take this one out, that expression is going to give the as 1, right? Because 1 mod 10, right? It's 1, then it's going to make it as true, right? Nope. So why? Let's see. It's going to be false because -1 make it to -1. And then when you get to I plus plus, it make it to 0. 0 mod 10 is still 0. Unless you can do like this. I plus plus again. Okay, let's be talk about it again. This minus I make it to -1, right? And we know this give you +1, right? So what's the value of I at that point? -1. And then you increment it back, it's going to be 0. And and 0 mod 10 is going to give you 0. Let's review this concept first. So we know that I equals to 0. Minus I is going to make it to -1. And when we compare to itself, right? Which is -1. Like we see that plus, we can just omitting that. That's going to do run later, right? So we can print and set true, right? So in this case, if we come back to these expressions, to make this expression to be true, we said this is -1 times 2 minus 2 plus 3. So you have +1, right? But why I cell still -1, right? So to make the right side to be +1, you have to do 2 plus -1. That gives you -1, right? Because increment will be later, right? Like if I want to print I out 2 at the same time after that. So what are we expecting to see? We're going to say true here, right? And I is going to increment back to from -1 to be 0, right? That's 2 and 0 because it's increment later, right? But this one still compare -1 and equals to -1. So let's review the escape, right? Characters or escape sequence in Java. So we do backspace /b/n new line /t tab /r carriage return /f is line feed. Double quote you do slash, double quotation. Backslash you do // right? So now if I want to write a program to print something like this, and then single quote, right? And double quote. So how do we do that? Like if I cleanly copy this and say system.out.print in a quotation, you see that you can do that, right? Then we know we need escape sequence for double quote, right? And we need escape sequence for the backslashes, right? So then you have the output, but you have to do escape to help. Now in your test, you need to know that it's actually this, not before, right? Not like that. So in the switch case, this is not the expression. It has to be the values, like the value of int. It cannot be double because double has a decimal. It can be .9999. We cannot accept it. It has to be exact values like that case. And the important thing is it has to have the break. If it's not having the break, it's going to do all the statements. This break is just out of the switch. It can be string, yes. It can be characters, but think about values with a range, no. And to-file is no. Have you talked about enum? How to create your own type, right? To use. Like movie ratings, EAB. You just create enum and using the program as the switch rating. Okay, so this is applets that we talked about applet once, right? Extends the applets. We can do, it's just talk about more methods, set color, fill over, which you can pretty much understand that by yourself at this point when you understand methods. Color.black, those are the class that can set the color
that you turn on. And yeah, that's the option pane. We talk about the option pane. This is yes, no option. Show confirm dialog instead of input dialog. You can do confirm. By using confirm, we have no kind of question itself and the title like that, and question. And you can specify what type of dialog. Yes, no. It's gonna have yes, no button for you. When you hit yes, it's gonna return answer as int. When answer is yes option, right? Yes option. At that point, it's actually turned 0. That's why it's an int. But you don't really know whether it's 0 or not. You can just do .yes option first time. The option can hold that value. No option. Right. Let's say you click no, yes, you exit. Right. The program. You want to exit pretty much. Then one more time. Else it's impossible. We have only 2 options. So you can use if else to help them, right? So that's the option pane option. So, and that's pretty much the end of chapter 3.